Good morning. On the channel today we're going to be doing a Hangout event. Snowstorm still doesn't have its next event in for hours, so the only thing we'll be doing today is a Hangout event.
I really can't recommend enough. A couple more visits and you'll find that the fur on your tail is silky smooth. A gorgeous tail like yours deserves lots of tender, loving care. Don't you agree?
No need. I'm not interested in that kind of thing.
You say that, but do I see your ears saying otherwise? Although your tail isn't professionally maintained, the fur doesn't look dry and coarse. To me, this says you like to take care of it. I'm also guessing that you like to curl up into a fetal position and hug your fluffy tail tight as you go off to sleep.
He should know better than get into a word match with her.
How do you know? Don't be ridiculous. I'm a high-ranking general of Watatsumi Island. How could I do such a thing?
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed. The desire to cuddle up to a soft tail while sleeping is quite natural.
Really? Wait, no. Why are we still on this topic? In fact, why am I even here talking about tails with you in the first place?
Why? Because you are blessed with a wonderful fluffy tail, that's why.
Ugh, I'm trapped. How do I get out of this? Please save me.
Don't bully Gorou.
Oh, and how is my favorite little one doing, I didn't expect to meet you here. We were just talking about tails. Gorou has a beautiful tail, don't you think? Doesn't it make you want to stroke it?
Look warily at Yayamiko.
Don't be nervous. Just follow your heart's desire.
He's not going to fall for it. We've fought side by side.
Pardon me. Lady Gucci, we have completed the matter you instructed us about previously. We have selected a very skilled artist to be in charge. I'm confident that the finished product will be to your satisfaction.
I'll take a look later, and if everything's in order, place it in front of the store. All right. I won't tease the two of you any further. Do make the most of your trip here, won't you? Quite a lot has changed. I wish you both a fun-filled time on Narukami Island.
How kind.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked at me in the end there. Could she be plotting something?
She's always plotting something.
Sorry that you had to see that. The real reason I'm here at Yae Publishing House is to buy some books for Her Excellency. Since Watatsumi Island signed a peace treaty with the shogunate, we've had much closer contact than we did before. I also wanted to come and see what things are like in an area ruled by the shogunate. I hadn't counted on running into her. I've interacted with her a few times before, but I can't say I've ever gotten used to it. I've never been good at dealing with people like her. The way she towers over me and speaks so cryptically. Something about her is strangely intimidating. I could probably deal with her in battle, but I don't know where to start when I run into her in normal life. I guess this is a weakness of mine.
Why don't I help you overcome this
That
weakness?
would be great. To be honest, this is something that's always worried me. If the soldiers ever saw me in this kind of embarrassing situation, they'd be very disappointed. So, I have to overcome it. For their sake. As soon as I've worked through this, let's go take on Yayamiko again. First things first, though. Do you have any ideas on where to begin?
I can act as a personality you find difficult to deal with.
I see. So if you pretend to be someone like her, I can keep practicing on you. If I can get the better of you, then I'll be able to hold my own when similar situations come up in the future. Good plan. Let's see. Where should we start?
Have you found yourself in scenarios like this before?
Now that you mention it, I remember having a similar experience back on Watatsumi Island. I was with my subordinates at the time. We ran into a merchant, I got caught up talking to them, and I don't quite know what happened, but I ended up buying a lot of things from them.
Then I'll pretend to be a merchant.
I think we can give it a try. There's an island called Rito nearby. Why don't we go there? I heard all the Outlander merchants are based there, so it might help to create the right atmosphere.
Why not?
So this is Rito. Although it looks slightly gloomy, it feels very peaceful here. I don't see any Tenryou Commission soldiers roaming the streets. What a nice place. Okay, let's get started. I'll be me, and you be a shrewd and savvy businesswoman.
Welcome to Sukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need.
Hi. So, a lot of the soldiers have been complaining about a shortage of blankets recently. So, 10 blankets, please?
20,000 more.
Okay, I'll settle the check right away.
That's it? Just like that?
The price seems pretty cheap to me, in which case, no need to haggle, right?
200,000 more, then.
I think that's still not too bad. Is that supposed to be really expensive? I'm sorry. In the past, Her Excellency has always handled procurement of military supplies. I don't know the specific prices of these items, so I never really know how to respond. This won't get us anywhere. I have to haggle to give you the chance to use your wily tricks on me. What do we do now?
Let's switch to something that you're more interested in.
Something I'm more interested in? Maybe, cake?
100,000 more for a slice of cake.
That's so expensive. I know what a fair price is when it comes to cake.
If you want a bargain, you'll have to do as I say.
Wait a sec. If you think about this from another angle, a cake that costs 100,000 more per slice must be so much better than a regular cake. Oh, let me see. I've been saving up recently. I think I should have enough. So,
Hold on.
There isn't really a kind of cake that costs 100,000 more per slice?
I really don't think so.
What a shame. I feel like role-playing as a vendor is a little outside our area of expertise. What kind of person do we both see regularly enough to impersonate convincingly?
I think I've met Fatui with the right kind of personality.
Fatui? Then it looks like a trip into the wild is in order. Let's go give it a try.
And with our luck, we'll end up in some sort of combat situation against the Fatui. Because, you know, why not?
I've dealt with I always end up against those big, stocky guys who are much taller than me. I'm sure I must train just as hard as they do every day, but somehow I still don't have the muscles to show for it. Maybe I'll start to see the results in a few more years.
I like you just the way you are.
That's very kind. But still, I think that I should aim to look more muscular than my subordinates at the very least. I know that people's trust in me has nothing to do with my size, but if I were taller and bulkier, they'd be able to identify me from behind more easily when charging into battle. That way, our forces wouldn't scatter so easily. As long as I was on the field, they'd be able to follow me. But enough of that. Let's get back to it. Who are you going to roleplay as this time?
Let me amuse myself a little.
I smell danger!
Looks like I was pretty convincing.
Huh. For a moment there, I could have sworn the actual Fatui were right here. No, wait. Behind you! It wasn't my imagination! They really are here! Prepare to engage!
Knew it was gonna happen.
Advance!
Wheel of life.
Who's next? Following thunder!
Eyes on me!
Oh, now you've got me worked up.
Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt!
Life goes up. Wow. Faster.
Everyone on me!
Let me amuse myself. Look at me.
Take this!
Power that ended Haishan!
This was well done.
Wheel of life.
Killjoy, we've only just begun this first.
Bellowing thunder!
Tidal wave. Shouldn't let your guard down.
To ashes!
This is trouble.
Take this!
Orders given. Orders received. Rise.
Press the advantage!
Thunderclap!
Counterattack.
Here!
Some quiet.
It's all fun and games until the real Fatui show up, huh?
Kinda.
That little interruption has really ruined the mood for me. Let's not do any more Fatui impressions for today. It seems in poor taste after the trouble they caused in Watatsumi Island anyway. Do we have any other options?
Time for Plan Z.
What do you mean?
I'll imitate the person you fear the most.
Isn't this moving a little too fast? Her Excellency advocates slow and steady progress in all things, and cautions against trying to advance too quickly. To clarify, it's not that I'm scared. It's just that I don't know if the time is right.
Be brave and give it a try.
I guess you're right. Thanks for your encouragement. It's not like me to shy away from a challenge like this. Let's do it! Time for a make-or-break training exercise. And we're back. Don't worry.
Ready?
My head's in the game this time. I am a high-ranking military officer of Watatsumi Island and the General of the Resistance. Whatever tricks you've got up your sleeve, you're not going to get to me. So bring it on.
How adorable.
This feels like...
Let's see that gorgeous tail.
Yes, it definitely feels like...
Like Yae Miko?
No. Not even slightly. It's not that you do a bad impression of her. More like... something is missing. I finally realized it when you were talking to me just now. I think that maybe what I'm really afraid of is her knowing smile and her piercing gaze. It just makes me feel like all my secrets have nowhere to hide. Like she can just peer in and see them. But it's different with you. I trust you, so I don't feel I need to hide my secrets in the first place. Even when you're imitating the way she speaks, I don't feel afraid. Because we fought side by side in the past, and I know I don't have to have my guard up around you.
That makes sense.
But it also means that this training won't work. I just have to accept that this is a weakness of mine, as much as it pains me to do so. The thought of having to live with this weakness forever is frustrating.
Why don't we go buy some
Are you
cake?
serious? I'd love that. I haven't eaten anything sweet in a long time. Off we go. Let's go buy some cake. All right. The next step is to find somewhere nice and quiet.
Ooh, you restaurant?
This is so good.
You don't get to eat cake very often?
It's certainly a rarity in the camp. It's seen as a luxury item in the ranks of the Resistance. We have special meals on occasion, but even then it usually means meat and wine, not dessert. So, thank you for treating me to some cake. The only downside with Narukami Island's pastries is that they're such exquisite things, you can't just chow down on them. But as Her Excellency says, a general needs to show patience and restraint.
Want to try my cake?
Wow, don't mind if I do. That's so sweet.
Alright, and that's ending number 1.
There was definitely something Sorry that you had to see that. Since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what... I've never been good. I could probably... Really? To be honest, this is something that's always worried me. So, as soon as I've worked through this, first things first.
We can start with some theoretical study.
Good plan. Start by studying some theory, address the fear at its root, and then I'll have nothing to be afraid of. But where would I go to learn about this? I wouldn't know anyone on Narukami Island. Oh, let's go back to Watatsumi Island and ask around there. I feel more at ease on Watatsumi Island. I had an idea on the way here. Many of my army comrades are older than me, and I'm sure that handling this kind of situation must be second nature to them by now. So I thought we could go ask them for advice, but I can't just go to them and say, hey, I'm no good at this. So instead, I'm going to go with a cover story, that I'm asking for a friend.
Because that always works.
I see. So, you're saying that your friend, is having some trouble with a certain someone who has an intense personality?
Yes. So I'm here on my friend's behalf to ask you for advice on a coping strategy.
Based on my experience, the easiest way to deal with people like that is just go through the motions.
What's the logic behind that?
Well, you see, General Gorou, General Gorou's friend, always listens intently when other people are talking, and takes them very seriously. No matter who the other person is, General Gorou's friend treats them all equally. Which, don't get me wrong, is something I admire very much. But the other side of the coin is that it makes General Gorou's friend very susceptible to falling for the other party's verbal traps and being led by the nose. Now, if something like that is bothering you, your best bet is simply to not give the other party your full, undivided attention. Don't hang on their every word, and when they ask a difficult question, just gloss over it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. So that's how it's done.
Sort of.
Well, it's something to try. Whether it'll actually work in this case is a different question. Going through the motions is a skill that everyone has to get the hang of as they get older. I'm guessing General Gorou's friend is on the younger side.
Well, on my friend's behalf, thank you for your advice.
Don't mention it. Oh, yes, I heard that Miwa from Sangonomiya Shrine is also in the area. Why don't you ask her for advice, too? She's supposed to be good with interpersonal stuff. It can't hurt to get another perspective.
Agreed.
Makes sense. All right, let's see what Miwa has to say. Most people who wish to have an audience with Her Excellency usually start by presenting their name cards and official documents to Miwa, who then passes them along. So I'm sure Miwa has lots of experience dealing with all kinds of people. Hopefully, she'll have some good ideas.
General Gorou, and the captain of Swordfish too. What are you doing here?
We wanted to ask you about something.
I see. So General Gorou's friend wants to overcome his weakness, right?
That's right. Do you have any advice?
Let me think. My advice would be to hide what you are really thinking.
Hide your
Cast
thoughts.
your minds back. Why do you think Yae Miko was able to tease General Gorou's friend, and not the other way around? It's because she always has that same smile on her face, so no one ever knows what she's really thinking. She's already won the battle, right from the start.
Exactly.
If General Gorou's friend wants to go head-on with her, he must at least learn to do as she does, to conceal the workings of his mind.
You make so much sense. So what you're saying is, my friend just needs to keep his cool, and she won't have the chance to take advantage of him.
Exactly. Many things look complicated on the surface, but often, all it comes down to is who loses their cool first.
Wonderful. You have my gratitude. I'm sure with your approach, that friend of mine will be able to overcome his weakness.
Then
sure.
I wish General Gorou's friend a great victory.
Well, I'm slowly starting to gain confidence. Oh, I suddenly remembered. Her Excellency updated her general operational directives recently. Who knows? There may be some useful suggestions in there too. Let's go take a look, just to be thorough. Her Excellency handed me the general operational directives in 3 parts, and I think this is where I placed them. Let's see. Deployment and mobilization, logistics, conflict resolution, dealing with Outlander merchants. Aha! Got it! How to avoid awkward social situations. Well, that's Her Excellency for you. She thinks of everything, doesn't she?
She certainly tries to.
Socializing
What
is
does
as
it say?
important as a decisive battle. Know yourself and your enemy to succeed. Boy, if even Her Excellency treats this so seriously, then we'd really better be careful. What I take from this is it's not enough just to learn some general countermeasures. We need specific knowledge of Yae Miko's individual weaknesses to achieve ultimate victory. But how do we figure her out?
I think we can visit Yae Publishing House.
Yae Publishing House. Makes sense. Since she goes there often, perhaps we can find some telling details about her there. Let's go and investigate.
Or we can run into her and you can get teased again. Let's go find out.
Greetings. Here to buy some books? We just got a new batch of light novels in. Oh, these ones are all the rage at the moment. I must say that Lady Guji has a keen eye for a good book. Almost everyone she picks is a bestseller. Apparently, the rumor goes that if you can impress Lady Guji with your writing, you're just one small step away from becoming the next big author.
Are these books personally selected by Yae Miko?
Yes. Well, first we screen all manuscripts, filter out the bad ones, and write synopses for the rest. Then we send those to Lady Guji for final approval.
So, you have close dealings with Guji Yae. What sort of person is she?
Well, for starters, she's a very busy person. Whenever she visits the Yae Publishing House, she never stays for long. So, actually, we don't know a whole lot about her. Still, she seems very invested in Yae Publishing House. And on occasion, she'll share some of her promotional strategies with us. Take That's Life magazine, for example. When we first started running it, sales were very poor. The return was barely covering costs, and for a while, it was on the verge of being axed. But the fans weren't happy about the prospect of their favorite magazine being discontinued. They kept writing in, begging us to keep it going. So in the end, Lady Guji stepped in and drew up a new marketing plan. Next thing you know, sales are through the roof.
That's life. Wait, isn't that...
What's up?
Nothing. It just reminded me of something unrelated. I didn't realize Yae Miko personally handled the marketing for Yae Publishing House. Yet more proof of her unparalleled skill in reading people's minds. Anyway, thank you very much. Is there anything more you can tell me about Guji Yae?
No, that's all. Look, I'm not sure what your plan is here, but I caution you against trying to second-guess Lady Guji. Just my opinion, but she's the most mysterious person I've ever met.
You think she's mysterious too? I guess we can forget about getting any insights this way then. Actually, You said that this batch of light novels was hand-picked by her, right? Maybe we could take a brief look. Perhaps we can get some inspiration from them.
Sure. If you're interested, I recommend this book. I've been to other worlds, but I've never tasted defeat. The protagonist doesn't have any particularly exciting abilities, but never fails to defeat strong opponents. It's all thanks to their wealth of experience and cunning strategies.
Cunning strategies. In that sense, it sounds similar to Her Excellency Sangonomiya.
Oh, there's an iconic line in this book that people quite like. One who relinquishes nothing also gains nothing. If you want to win when you're at a disadvantage, a little sacrifice is probably going to be necessary.
Thank you for the valuable advice. Well, one more string to our strategic bow. Although I didn't learn much about my enemy, I've still learned a lot from everyone. It's time to put these theories to the test. Let's go to Yae Miko's lair, the Grand Narukami Shrine.
She is the head priestess. I wouldn't call it much of a lair.
So this is the Grand Narukami Shrine. It's the first time I've been to this place.
Hello there. You look like you have something weighing on your mind. Would you like to draw a fortune slip? The Grand Narukami Shrine's fortune slips have always been very accurate.
I've heard that the generals of the past used to employ all sorts of divination techniques to find out their fortune before a battle. I'm not in the habit of it, but since the opportunity's come up, I'd like to give it a try. Let's draw one together.
Let's go with the center left. Successfully drawn a fortune slip. Open it up quick.
Let's see what we've drawn. Good fortune. Not bad. At least it's something good. It means that our training must have been effective. Things will go differently this time.
We'll see. Now he's going to challenge her again.
Any second now, we'll be face to face with her.
We're in
Don't worry.
this together.
All our hard work is definitely going to pay off. She can forget about teasing me this time.
I doubt it.
Oh? You arrived a little later than expected. Did you run into some trouble along the way?
You knew we were coming.
But of course. That's why I'm here waiting for you.
So what if you knew we were coming? This time, we won't get caught off guard.
Bad start,
Here
kiddo.
Slow down. No need to rush. Let me guess. In the past, I used to have many believers coming to see me at the shrine every day, and most of them came for the same reason, especially those who came in pairs. 9 times out of 10, they were here seeking to know their future fate, hoping that it would be a lifetime together. If you're interested, I'd be quite happy to do a reading for you two.
Together for a lifetime?
Whoa there. Calm down, Gorou.
Remember what Shuhei said? We mustn't pay too much attention to what she says. Otherwise, we may be fooled by her cunning words.
Now that I think about it, perhaps I never needed to recommend that store to you in the first place. You can just leave all your fur grooming to your little friend here. Imagine him holding your tail in one hand, combing it gently with the other.
Uh-oh, not good. My mind is already full of mental images. I'll
Can't
have to
unthink it
resort
now.
to the method Miwa taught us.
By the way, there's really no point in trying to hide the way you feel. You might be able to remain stony-faced if you really try, but with your tail swishing behind you, it tells everything.
What?
Then again, you know what? Most people only pay attention to your tail, but those soft, pointy ears are really just as fascinating.
Please, no more.
There's only one method left. A cunning strategy that no one saw coming. This is going to hurt me almost as much as it hurts my opponent. But there's no other way.
Gorou.
I think the real reason you know me so well is that you're just like me. Just like me, you hug your tail when you go to sleep. And just like me, you daydream about someone else grooming your tail for you.
I see. You decided to admit your feelings in an effort to bring me down with you. Not bad. I suppose this is a step forward for you. But I'm afraid I don't have a tail at all.
No!
KO.
Retreat! Retreat! Fighting on is futile. Better to conserve resources for the next confrontation. We're out of here! When I get back, I'm going to train harder than I've ever trained before. I won't lose to her again!
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.
Told you fighting against her was a terrible idea. Tactical retreat.
What? Another bad one?
And that is our second ending. Alright.
There was definitely something strange. Sorry that you had. Since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what things. I've never been. I could probably.
It's okay, let's just ignore.
You're right. I've heard Her Excellency say the same thing before. In any battle, you need to think about how to avoid your shortcomings. As long as I don't come into contact with Yae Miko, everything should be fine.
Actually, Yae Miko's not all bad.
Really? Well, it's a relief to hear that. In that case, I still have some business to take care of with the Yae Publishing House. They run a monthly magazine called That's Life, which has an advice column. Readers write in about their problems, and I'm responsible for responding to them. I'm not quite sure why they chose me, but it's my job now, and I can't give it up just like that. Yae Miko just handed me the latest batch of readers' letters. Let's find a place to write the replies, then pack them up and send them back to Yae Publishing House. Huh. This place looks nice and quiet. Why don't we write the replies here? The sooner I get them finished and handed back to the publisher, the sooner we can go do something else. I just hope I don't have another run-in with, you-know-who at the Yae Publishing House later. Anyway, the writing could take me some time. The questions I receive are often so strange that I have to think long and hard about how to best answer them.
I'll stay and keep you company.
Great. Let's write the replies together. I'm actually interested to hear your perspective. Let me see here. Let's start with this one. Today, a new guy came to our village. He was good-looking and had a lovely voice. When I peeked at him from behind the door, I felt my cheeks getting hotter, and my heart started beating faster and faster. See, I can tell right away that this is exactly the kind of question I'm no good at dealing with. The letter seems to be from a young lady, which is not a demographic where I can offer much expertise. What's your take?
Sounds like she's falling in love.
Well, I don't know what it's like to be in love, but if you say so, I think it makes sense. I'll reply like this then. It's likely that the feelings you're experiencing right now won't occur many times in your life. I urge you to summon the courage to seize this opportunity and see where it takes you, no matter where that may be.
More professional than I expected.
What? Really? But that's how it is in battle, too. Opportunities to seize victory are fleeting. When they arise, you have to capitalize on them right away. I imagine it's the same in love. That's my suggestion, anyway. Come on, let's read the next letter. My
What does
neighbor
this one
is
say?
always borrowing money from me, but never seems to be able to pay me back on time. I have tried subtly raising the issue in conversation several times, but he always finds a way to dodge my questions. He was kind to me when I was young. I don't want to make things ugly, but the money issue bothers me a lot. Please help me. If this is a dispute between neighbors, it must be settled as soon as possible. It's like when conflict arises between generals in the army. The proper policy is to resolve it without delay. The most important thing in military regulations is fairness. It is only right to pay back a debt. I want to suggest that the writer demands their money back in no uncertain terms. Do you think that makes sense?
I completely agree.
So let's reply along those lines. Let me think. How about this? It is good that you want to repay your neighbor's kindness, but be aware that you can find other ways to do this that don't involve lending them money. Right now, the most important thing for you to do is demand your money back. Being kind does not mean allowing your neighbor to walk all over you. Okay, and we are done with that letter. The next one seems longer. Let me see. Hello, I was born on Narukami Island, and now I'm a soldier in the Resistance. So, this is from one of my troops?
Is it someone you know?
Most likely. But I'm not sure who. Before passing any readers' letters on to me, Yae Publishing House has their staff copy each one by hand and redact all names in the process. So I can't be sure who exactly this is. Anyway, let's keep reading. I couldn't turn a blind eye to the Vision Hunt Decree, and my anger drove me to join the Resistance. My comrades and I have fought side by side, and I have formed deep friendships with them. Since we achieved our goal and the war came to an end, I have remained on Watatsumi Island. But this is not my hometown, and I often find myself dreaming of the cherry blossoms falling on Narukami Island. I now don't know whether to stay here or return home. The Resistance has treated me well, and I've long been disillusioned by the shogunate, but my hometown tugs constantly at my heartstrings. How should I reply to him?
You'll have to answer this one, Gorou.
Let me think about it. To be blunt, I obviously don't want any soldiers under my command to leave, but if making them stay causes them pain, how are my actions any different from the Vision Hunt Decree? I suppose I'll reply... Narukami Island has changed. You should go back and visit. That should do it.
Gorou.
I'll be okay. Come on, let's finish the rest of the letters. Thanks to you, writing the responses went very smoothly this time. Let's go and deliver them to the Yae Publishing House, shall we?
Great. As for this round accounted for. Thank you for all your hard work, Mr. Gorou.
Think nothing of it. I agreed to help, so it's only right that I do the best I can. Could I trouble you to come back to Watatsumi Island with me? I want to find that... I don't want them to leave without saying goodbye. Kazuha once told me that the bonds between people whose paths have crossed can never be broken, even after they part ways. But maybe I'm scared he might be wrong. People can change bravely alongside me. There will already be some distance between us.
Let's go visit them together.
Great. Then let's head off whenever you're ready.
General Gorou. And Captain of Swordfish too. General Captain, are you here to inspect the camp?
Not this time. I just thought I'd come by to catch up while everyone has some downtime.
Certainly, General Gorou. Anything you want to discuss, we'll share whatever we know. But we haven't been out of the camp lately, so we don't have a whole lot of interesting stories.
Actually, I've had something on my mind and wanted to ask everyone's thoughts on the matter. You see, after the war, Her Excellency streamlined the army and a lot of people were transferred to other duties. Do you still have much contact with each other?
To be honest, not much. We're so busy even with just training and patrolling that it's almost impossible to squeeze in the time to meet up. We have holidays, but we usually use them to go home and spend time with our nearest and dearest. And besides, everyone's vacations come at different times, and our schedules rarely overlap.
Yeah, I'm busy when they're free, and they're busy when I'm free. Anyway, even if we did manage to meet up, what then? We all do different jobs now, and we all have new friends who aren't mutually acquainted. I'm not sure what we'd talk about.
So that's really how it goes, huh?
We all go through it.
I know. It's okay. It just seems a pity. That's all.
You know, having said all that, there's something else that I've always felt about this.
Really?
Yes. I feel that no matter how long we're apart, and no matter what we might go through in the meantime, all of us will be straight back here if Watatsumi Island is ever in danger. Even if we've all changed beyond recognition, we can always trust that we've got each other's backs. And that's one thing that's never gonna change.
We're your troops, General Gorou. You trained us, you took us into battle, and led the way as we charged against the enemy. Even if we seldom keep in contact now, we are still brothers in arms. If you say the word, we will all pick up our weapons again at a moment's notice. Long live the resistance!
Yes, that's the way it should be. Long live the resistance!
Long live the resistance.
I won't disturb you any further. You guys keep training hard. Regarding everything else, I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Ah, General Gorou, you're here. I believe Hiroaki's been hoping to catch you. He's been waiting at the camp for a long time, but never saw you return. Are you planning to head back to camp later? If you're busy, I can go and let him know so he's not waiting there in vain.
Tell him I'll be right over. I know what I have to do now. Come with me. Let's head to the camp. Denjiro is right. No matter what changes the future may bring, we will always have each other's backs. Sure, there may be some awkward silences when we meet again after a long time, but in no time at all, we'd be the best of friends again.
General Gorou, I would like to request permission to leave the Resistance, sir. I know this may seem very abrupt, and in fact, I've only just made the decision.
It's all right.
Back then, I had so much hatred for the Vision Hunt decree, and so much disappointment in Narukami Island for supporting it. But after the war ended, I wanted to go back and visit. But I still couldn't make up my mind. Thanks to Miss Hina's encouragement, I was finally able to find the courage to talk to you about it. Of course, if you disapprove, I'll obey your orders. I am your subordinate, after all.
Miss Hina.
Miss Hina? Who's that?
It's a long story.
Forget it. Never mind her. I approve your application to leave the Resistance.
General Gorou,
Come on. Don't look so down. It's not like we're never going to see each other again. If you ever have the time, you should come back and visit Watatsumi Island. There's no need to limit yourself to a specific place. Just do what you want to do. No matter where we are, we will always be comrades.
Yes, General. I'll take my leave then. Take care of yourself, General Gorou.
Take care. That was okay. Or should I say, it was for the best. This is how it should be. It should leave you with a smile on your face. Just like this.
The smiling send-off. We smile when we part so that we may smile when we meet again. And that's ending 3. Okay, I'm not sure how we can branch off from the... Well, yes, actually, I do think I know how to branch off from here. Probably by going to wait at the publishing house while he's writing the replies.
Huh. This place looks... Why don't we write the replies here? I just hope I don't have another... Anyway, the writing could...
I'll go keep watch at Yae Publishing House.
You want to scout ahead? Yeah, that works. This way, if Yae Miko's lying in wait for me there, I can avoid her. But stay sharp, okay? She is a force to be reckoned with.
No one knows that better than we do.
Must be sure to tread carefully. If you spot her, get yourselves back here right away, and we'll run for our lives. I mean, we'll make a strategic retreat. Anyway, I'm counting on you.
All right, everyone, settle down. We are gathered here today, united by a common purpose. Now, who can tell me what they think that might be?
Let's see what this is all about.
Well, of course it's to tell the whole world about how wonderful Miss Hina is!
An excellent answer! How gentle she is, how understanding she is, how delightfully mischievous she can be. On occasion, we can all testify to the great joy that Miss Hina has brought to our lives. But my friends, there are so many people out there in this world who still need Miss Hina's salvation. We can help by spreading the good news about Miss Hina to every soul in the world.
My friend, do you have a moment to talk about Miss Hina?
I've never heard of her.
Friends, I found one! Someone needs our help!
Shh, calm your voice down. We don't want to scare him off. Hello, my friend. On this joyous day, we would like to open our hearts to you and tell you about the existence of a perfect being. She is gentle, kind, understanding. She is the brightest star in our sky. Here, have this pamphlet.
It's fun how every fan club ends up looking cultish, isn't it?
So, what do you think?
To that's big sister. Gentle and kind, she answers all your questions. She'll help you be rid of all your troubles. Looks kind of familiar.
Oh, my apologies. In my excitement, I forgot to give you all the details. Have you ever come across a magazine called That's Life, published by the Yae Publishing House? It's a monthly magazine featuring, amongst other things, an advice column. We were among the first readers to send in letters seeking advice, and we've received kind and gentle replies to each one. Although the editor chose to conceal her name, gender, and other details, we all see her as an emphatic older sister figure and feel convinced that she must be the same sort of person in real life.
Wouldn't they be in for an awakening?
Oh, there's no mistaking it. Just from her letters, I can feel that she respects me, trusts me. She has a natural ability to connect with people. She's so considerate. She can always sense our true emotions from our letters and never fails to deliver the advice and the encouragement we need. Except when it comes to the topic of romantic love. She's clearly not an expert there. But even then, that just makes her all the more endearing to us.
Recently, the column went through a low period where it just wasn't popular at all. In fact, they almost axed it. Fortunately, Yae Publishing House made the decision to publicize her image, and then the column finally started to grow in popularity.
So Miss Hina is...
That's right! Miss Hina is the person in charge of That's Life magazine's advice column. She is the one we all admire and adore so greatly. And so, when we heard that Yae Publishing House would be revealing the official likeness of Miss Hina today, we immediately came here from wherever we were, all over the nation, to gather together and to witness this grand moment in history!
I wonder how Gorou would react to this.
Please, gaze upon the radiant beauty of Miss Hina. See how truly lovely she is. I've been following Miss Hina's columns.
Now let's go and let Gorou know about this development.
Oh, hey, there you are. Is, you know who at Yae Publishing House?
No, she isn't.
That's good. I just finished writing my replies, so I was about to head to Yae Publishing House and hand them in.
Why are you helping to write for them?
Why? I guess it's because I can help people this way. Also, the editor said to me, this is something that only you are capable of. They made quite a solemn request when they first approached me, so I felt like I couldn't refuse it. But once I'd settled into it, I found myself really enjoying it. Before I knew it, I had written hundreds of replies, and sometimes they'd respond again just to thank me. It made me so happy whenever they'd compliment me. Every time I think about that terrifying woman, I feel like I want nothing to do with Yae Publishing House. But then, whenever I think about how my replies can help so many people, I feel a sense of responsibility. By this point, I'm so used to it that I'd probably find it hard to adjust if I ever gave it up.
I can't let Gorou know the full story.
Well, I don't quite know what's going on, but I'd like to get these letters delivered quickly while you-know-who isn't around. I'm really looking forward to the readers' reactions when they receive my letters. In the army, people are always a little reserved when talking to me because I'm a general. But those obstacles are removed when you're communicating via letters. Everyone who writes seems to treat me like that one friend who they can share anything and everything with. So I'm not about to let them down. Let's head over.
Why don't I deliver them for you?
But Yae Publishing House isn't far from here, if I remember correctly. Let's just head there together. Besides, this way, if you-know-who does show up, we can look out for each other.
This ought to go real good. And this was probably Yae Miko's intention all along.
Strange. It seems unusually lively here today. I don't come here often. Is it like this most of the time?
It's a special case today.
Hey, there seems to be some commotion over there. Let's check it out.
Allow me to reiterate, my friends. We in the Miss Hina fan club must abide by the club rules. Firstly, we mustn't try and probe into Miss Hina's true identity. We of all people cannot cause her any trouble. Secondly, fans of Miss Hina are not to make any controversial statements when representing the fan club. We must exercise self-discipline and present a good image in front of other people. Thirdly, while our mission is to promote Miss Hina in every way possible, if someone we're talking to says they're not interested, we are to respect that and not go forcing it down their throats. And finally, we are here today because Miss Hina has brought us together, but we are also here to change ourselves for the better, for her sake.
Yes, we can!
Always make her proud and never bring her down.
Oh, so this is what they call a fan club. I don't know whose fan club it is, but they are raring to go. Reminds me of the rallying speeches we used to give before going into battle.
Yeah.
Something's up, isn't it? I can tell. You're avoiding my gaze. Did something happen? It's not her, is it?
Excuse me, friend. Something about you looks awfully similar to Miss Hina.
You're imagining things.
I see. Well, one way or another, fate has brought you here. Have you ever heard of Miss Hina?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Well, now's as good a time as any for you to find out more. Miss Hina is gentle, kind, and considerate. You can tell her anything that is bothering you, and she will patiently advise you on how to deal with it.
Oh, well, she sounds like a very pleasant person to be around. She must be the polar opposite of Yae Miko, right?
I couldn't say.
The spitting image of Miss Hina. I wonder if they're blood relatives.
Shh! Have you forgotten? We may not pry into Miss Hina's identity.
At least let's take a photo with them.
Friend, may we take a photo with you? We borrowed a camera specifically to witness the official unveiling of Miss Hina's image today.
Sure, that's fine. Why do they want to take a picture with me?
It's a quirky practice of the Yae Publishing House.
All right, sure. That should do it. Right, I should really be heading to the Yae Publishing
managed
House
to keep
hand
him in the
those
dark.
letters now.
Make way, everyone! Make way! The Miss Hina billboard is here. Please, make some space. Coming through.
Hey, everybody! It's the real Miss Hina!
Miss Hina! Miss Hina!
Now I'm curious too. Let's go over and take a look.
No.
Why?
I heard
What's
Yae
the
Miko
problem?
is about to arrive back.
Really? Then we can't stay. Let's get out of here. As curious as I am to see what all the fuss is about, it'll have to wait until next time. So please join me again the next time I'm delivering letters.
That's, I can't shake the feeling that there's something you're not telling me. And that is ending 4. Now for the final ending. So somehow there's another dialogue choice here in countermeasures. Oh right, where we have them avoid Yae Publishing House instead.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked. Sorry that you had to see that. The real reason I'm here, since Watatsumi, I also wanted to come and see what things are. I've never been good. I could probably deal with. You're. Okay, whatever you think's best. Let's avoid Yae Publishing House for now. Actually, there's something else I have to sort out while I'm on Narukami Island. It's a personal matter. Back when we were fighting the Shogun's army at Nazuchi Beach, I had a box with me that contained some very important items. The odds were stacked against us that day, and the resistance was forced to retreat. I had to abandon the box, but I managed to quickly bury it first. I went back to collect it on this trip, but it turned out someone had already dug it up. So I asked around the area, and the locals said that apparently the Adventurers Guild had beaten me to it. That box is very important to me. I have to get it back from the Adventurers Guild. Would you mind coming along?
No problem.
Thank you so much. Let's head right over. Time is of the essence.
I'm afraid that will be a little difficult.
Why,
Don't
what's
worry.
happened?
The item you are looking for is safe and sound. However, I'm unable to return it to you at present. The reason being, it is connected to a case involving the treasure hoarders, which is still under investigation.
That's strange. I buried that box there. What does it have to do with the treasure hoarders?
Allow me to explain. Not long ago, we received a commission concerning a theft by treasure hoarders at Komori Tea House. The adventurer who accepted the commission followed their trail and heard that they had buried the treasure at Nazuchi Beach. But when we went to dig up the stolen items, we found many other things buried there along with them. As such, we cannot ascertain which of the items have to do with the treasure hoarders at this stage. For now, all we can do is hold all related items at the Adventurers Guild until such a time as we have caught the group of treasure hoarders in question. Then,
Which means we're gonna have to go hunt them down.
all items are returned to their rightful owners.
I see. I never expected that other people would be burying things in the same place. Well, since these are the rules, I won't press you for it. But might I ask how the investigation is coming along?
This is where the difficulty arises. To date, we have still not been able to locate the hiding place of the treasure hoarders, so I'm afraid it still could take some time.
So there's no knowing when this will be resolved. Maybe I could help. I could find the treasure hoarders for you, and once you confirm everything is in order, you'll be able to return my box to me. It's very important to me, so the sooner I get it back, the better.
That is perfectly acceptable. However, many adventurers have investigated this case recently. They have searched far and wide, but their efforts have been fruitless.
Yes, but they're not us.
If the two of you are still interested in taking the case, you may have to devise an original approach.
Let's head to Komori Tea House
Yes,
first.
it seems like the only sensible place to start. With any luck, we might be able to find some clues there. Actually, since it's come up, what's the Komori Tea House like?
A place to have tea.
Well, obviously. Anyway, let's just go take a look.
Are you here to investigate the recent theft as well? We're grateful for the assistance. However, I'm afraid I don't have any more clues. It was Tarumaru's #2 reserve fund that they stole. They struck late at night while there was no one in the surrounding area, so they could slip in unnoticed. By the time we realized, it was too late.
Which means they probably had inside help.
They left enough clues for us to retrieve the box, but we found no trace of the group of treasure hoarders who dared to target our tea house. I've asked around many times, and there were no eyewitnesses at all. We're definitely dealing with experienced crooks here. Oh, Tarumaru, what are you doing out here? How strange. I don't know what's gotten into Tarumaru today.
He says he knows where the treasure hoarders are hiding.
You understand Tarumaru?
How can I describe it? It's like listening to a regional dialect. A lot of it goes over my head, but I can still get the general gist. Anyway, he says he was there at the scene of the crime. The treasure hoarders didn't see Tarumaru as a threat, so he stayed and listened in on their whole conversation. Since there were so many of them and they were armed, Tarumaru didn't dare to bark loudly, so we just had to let them go.
Oh, no wonder. Poor boy. He's been acting more anxious than usual lately and is always looking outside. And I thought he just wanted someone to take him for a walk.
Yes, that does sound like... Okay, I think I understand now.
I don't.
Tarumaru says he heard the treasure hoarders conspiring to hide out at the beach directly below Tenshikaku. No one usually thinks to look there, and it's become something of a safe haven for treasure hoarders. He also mentioned that there were a gang of 5 people. The leader's name is Kosuke, and the second in command is called Yasuhisa. The leader's scent indicated he was probably from the Narukami Island area, while the 2 newcomers in the team were more likely from somewhere else.
You got all that from Wolf?
Thank you, Tarumaru. It must have been hard for you, knowing the details of the crime but not being able to communicate them. Don't you worry. We'll take care of everything from here. We will definitely get your belongings back. Let's go there in person. We might not have any troops with us, but between the 2 of us, we should be able to deal with a handful of petty thieves.
I would say so, since we do it all the time.
Danger in the air. And something doesn't smell right. Be careful.
No time. Lightning flash!
Life goes...
Following thunder!
The wrong test subject.
Power that ended Python!
This is bizarre. How would anyone think to look here?
Boss, didn't you say that the most dangerous place is the safest place to hide?
Yeah, and I still maintain that I'm right in principle. Think how many days we've been here. No one else has come looking for us, have they? Can't believe we got caught. Just when the whole thing had nearly blown over. Hey, kid! Who the heck are you guys anyway?
Tarumaru's best buddies.
Shouldn't waste any more time on these people. Life is tough in the Resistance, but none of our troops would ever think about laying a hand on the innocent civilians under their rule. You have things so much better here, and this is how you choose to live your life? It's pure selfishness. We should turn them over to the Adventurers Guild right away. Once their identities are confirmed, they'll get the punishment they deserve.
Please, show a little mercy. We'll give you half of everything we've saved up over the years. If you're willing to turn a blind eye on this, anything's up for negotiation.
That's enough! Tie them up and take them away.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Come to think of it, this is not a military camp, so there's no need for me to be so heavy-handed. But thieves still have to be punished. Let's escort them back.
I am pleased to confirm that these are indeed the individuals who stole from Komori Tea House. I didn't expect you to catch them so quickly, especially with no new leads to explore. In accordance with the rules, now that we have procured an oral confession from the treasure hoarders and verified the list of stolen items, we can now return the box to you. Here.
Thank goodness. Well, let me think.
Are you going to open it and take a look?
The contents of the box don't belong here. They belong on Watatsumi Island. So, let's head there now and open it.
You would think you would at least want to verify the contents before we go all the way there, but okay.
One, two, three. Yes, it looks like they're all here.
What are these?
Some personal items that once belonged to the troops under my command. Water bottles, towels, knee guards. Just everyday items, but each one bears the handwritten name of its former owner. These were the only things those soldiers had for their families to remember them by. We all knew going into that battle that the odds of survival were slim. Many of the soldiers came to me and said they wanted to leave something behind as a keepsake for their loved ones. You see, their swords and polearms broke in battle. Their damaged armor wouldn't have been easy to carry. And many of them couldn't write very well, so they couldn't even leave a letter. In the end, all they could leave to their families were these ordinary items. Artifacts of their daily lives.
Gorou.
My soldiers trusted me, but I failed to lead them to victory that day. Then they trusted me with these, and instead of honoring their last wishes right away, I had to hastily bury them in the sand. Every time something like this happens, I tell myself that by the next time I'm faced with the same situation, I have to be stronger.
You got the box back. It's all right now.
Yeah, but right now, let me just mourn them for a little while longer.
And that is ending number 5 and the final ending. Final remembrance. Let me mourn them for just a little while longer. And with that, we have completed all of General Gorou's Hangout event. And that is where we will conclude for today. Tomorrow we will resume for Shadows Amid Snowstorms and the next part of the story, as well as the final events of the, or what I believe will be the final events, of the Snowman Building and Adventure Guild training. Thanks for watching along. If you haven't already, please hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future uploads. And please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also, feel free to join us over on twitch.tv/the twitch.tv/Gremory Channel 2 for additional content. And please give us a follow over there as well. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.